Hey, what is going on, guys? Lanh here from Android Authority, and the Moto 360 has been out for a little while now, but it's still easily one of the best Android Wear smartwatches you can get on the market right now. It's really well designed and has fantastic build quality, so we're going to put that build quality to the test and see exactly how durable it is. We're basically just going to stress the hell out of it and see how well it stacks up. So before we get started, I just want to go over exactly what it is that I'm going to do to test the durability of the Moto 360. So there's going to be 3 different tests here, and test number 1 is the water resistancy. So we know the Moto 360 is IP67, but we're going to put it to the test anyways and see exactly how long it can go underwater. Test number 2 is the glass. With the Moto 360 having that beveled glass, it's not quite as protected as some other watches, so we're going to see how easy or not so easy it is to scratch the glass on the Moto 360. And finally, test number 3, we're basically just going to wreck the Moto 360. We're going to try to find a weight like a rock or something and just drop it on the Moto 360 and see how well it fares. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get started with test number 1. All right, so here is my bowl of water, and sorry I don't have anything bigger like a fish tank or something, so this bowl of water is going to have to do for now. And I have an HTC One M8 here to serve as a stopwatch, and here is my Moto 360, and as you can see, it is in working order. It does function, and I'm basically just going to put it in the water, and I'm going to check up on it every 10 minutes or so. So let's go ahead and just do this, and I will be back in about 10 minutes. All right, so it has been 10 minutes, so let's check up on it here. So there you go, it's still working. Yep, still works, no surprises there. Seems to be working just fine. The screen lights up and everything. So we're gonna go another 10 minutes and I will be back again. So 20 minutes have passed. Let's see how the Moto 360 is doing. All right, and there you go. It is still working. The screen still lights up and everything, and I can still interact with it. The leather band is extremely wet at this point, but you expect it to be. But other than that, it works perfectly fine. I can still interact with the screen if my camera will focus. But I'm going to put it in for another 10 minutes and we'll check up on it again. So here we go. So at this point, 30 minutes have elapsed. Let's go ahead and see how the Moto 360 is holding up. All right, so the good news is it is still working. Well, that's good. So yeah, it still works. I can still interact with it. It still lights up. Obviously, again, the leather band is extremely wet now. But you know what? For good measure, I'm going to go and do another 10 minutes. All right, so it is time for the moment of truth. It has been 40 minutes. Let's see if the Moto 360 still works. And yeah, there you go. Surprisingly, it still works. It still lights up, still functions. If only my camera would focus on it, but that's okay. It still works. So that's good news. Kind of surprising that it is still functioning after all this time. Obviously, it's just really wet, and it's going to be interesting to see what this leather band is going to look like once it dries up. But as far as the watch itself, still functions just fine, and so that's good news. Definitely lasted a lot longer than I expected. All right, so the Moto 360 has passed the water test with flying colors. I actually wasn't expecting it to. I was expecting it to crap out after about 30 minutes, but it fortunately survived, so that's good news. But let's go ahead and move on to test number 2, which is the screen. So here's our Moto 360 all nice and wet after the water test, and now it's time to test the screen and see if we can scratch it. So as you can see in front of me is a really rough looking, really beat up railing, and I'm just going to rub the screen up against it and see if I can scratch it. So here goes nothing. All right, let's take a look at it here. Let me go ahead and clean it off really quick. All right, I'm gonna zoom in for you guys so we can take a look. And let's check it out here. And I actually don't see anything. It still looks really good. Let me clean it off a little bit more. But yeah, I don't see anything. I don't even see light scratches. It's just dirty. But right now it still looks pristine. I guess that makes sense because this railing is metal and metal is softer than glass. So I guess even as rough and beat up as this railing is, it's still not going to scratch it. So surprisingly, the glass is still in perfect shape, even though I just rubbed the hell out of it on this railing. But it's still not scratched at all. So let's see if we can scratch it on, rub it on something else to get it to scratch. So this is concrete, and I'm expecting the Moto 360 to not fare anywhere near as well on this concrete as it did with the metal railing. But let's go ahead and just try it anyways and see what happens. All right, I think that is enough. Let's go ahead and check up on it. Let me go ahead and clean it off really quick here. And let's take a look. Actually, I'm going to adjust my camera angle here so we can take a better look at it. So here's the glass of the Moto 360 after being scratched up against concrete. And as you can see, it's pretty beat up at this point. It fared a lot better against the metal railing, but I guess you sort of expected that because metal is a lot softer than glass. But the concrete pretty much tore up the glass on the Moto 360 here. The rest of the watch is fine though. The body is still in great shape, but the glass is pretty beat up. So here's the final test, and we're basically just going to drop this brick that I found onto the face of the Moto 360 and see exactly what is going to happen. So here goes nothing. Woo! That was crazy. Ooh, that was crazy. All right, so my DSLR died on me right in the middle of filming that drop, but I just wanted to quickly show you guys the aftermath of the Moto 360. And as you see, the screen is completely shattered. It's not even usable. You wouldn't want to use it because you'd probably cut your finger or something. And it doesn't even boot up or anything. So it's completely broken. But that is going to do it for the durability test for the Moto 360. Well, that is going to do it, guys, for this durability test for the Moto 360. I'm not even really sure if there's anything that can be learned from this video, except for the fact that you should not drop a brick on your Moto 360, because that's what your Moto 360 will become, a brick. But either way, thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up down below. And if you want to see more videos like this, definitely leave a comment down below letting us know what you guys want to see, if you guys want to see another one similar to this. But that is going to be it. Thanks for watching, guys, and as always, keep it locked on Android Authority, because we are your source for all things Android.